Outgoing Secretary of State Hillary Clinton was hoping to close the book on Benghazi during yesterday's appearance on Capitol Hill. But she faced some tough questions from her critics, including our next guest, Tennessee Senator Bob Corker.
What has happened inside to make sure that never happens again?
We're putting into action steps that we think will help the next secretary be able to make these decisions, be part of these decisions, have more insight into what is going on.
Tennessee Senator Bob Corker is ranking Republican on the Foreign Relations Committee, and he is our guest now. Senator, thanks for being with us today. I know you're very busy. Are you satisfied that what happened in Benghazi won't be repeated?
Well, I'm not. Obviously, Secretary Clinton acquits herself well in public. There's no question. But, you know, if you think about it, we have people all over our country today that are unemployed for reasons that, you know, they have nothing to do with. Our economy's been slow. They've been laid off. At the State Department at present, still, no one has been held accountable, if you will, for what's happened. No doubt there were issues arising security-wise. There were cables sent. We had forces that were actually taken back away from Benghazi. I think you know I was there right after, or in Libya right after this occurred, and you know there's still no one, not a single person, has yet been held accountable. So we'll see. I know that she is sending something up that allows action to be taken against employees that don't deal with things in an appropriate way. It's almost you know, hard to understand that nothing yet has happened. So we'll see. There's an ARB, as you know, it was talked about a great deal yesterday. Recommendations have been put in place, but again, this is something that actually Secretary Kerry, if confirmed and when confirmed, will be dealing with for some time.
As you know, there have been attacks in the past on Americans in troubled parts of the world. The USS Cole was attacked and sailors killed. There were attacks on our embassies in Kenya and Tanzania. You can go all the way back to the 83 Marine barracks bombing if you want. Americans attacked without a lot of response. Are you satisfied with the response to this point of whoever is responsible for these Benghazi attacks?
You know, I met with the leadership in Libya seeking cooperation as we try to find and prosecute the people who are responsible for the deaths. I will say the government there, you know, almost doesn't exist. I don't think people can fully understand how Libya is until you're there on the ground, and there just almost isn't any real government. So I know it's been incredibly frustrating for our FBI and others who are trying to bring these people to justice. Many of them have ended up in other parts of the world. We think some of them are in Algeria and may have been involved in what just happened there. So, you know, I think this is going to take time for us to bring folks to justice. I think it's actually more of an activity of our CIA and other operations. But at present, no. I mean, no one who has killed or murdered 4 Americans there on the ground, no one has been brought to justice. So again, there's still a lot of work that needs to be done.
During her testimony yesterday, Secretary Clinton got quite emotional when she was talking about the motivation for the attacks. She said, "What does it matter what motivated the attacks? We have 4 Americans dead." Does it matter in your view?
Well, I do think they were talking past each other. I understand she was really speaking to that moment in time. On the other hand, let's face it, one of the reasons Benghazi has turned out to be the issue that it is that most Americans feel like that we were misled about what happened. I mean, you had Susan Rice on 5 television programs that day talking about protests. And to be fair, all the political spin that occurred during that time at the height of a presidential campaign, no doubt has cast much of the shadow over what happened in Benghazi from the standpoint of us perceiving what occurred. So, you know, I do think it's important that the administration always be truthful with the American people. Do I feel like they intentionally misled? I will just say, generally speaking, I am very unsatisfied with the way the intelligence community communicates with all of us. I really am. And I have a meeting with Director Clapper in about 10 days to discuss this in a very stern way. I think it's a disservice to the American people not to be forthcoming, especially with an occasion like Benghazi.
Tennessee Senator Bob Corker.
Thank you.
Thank you.